I met a gypsy.
But if you look at the theologies and everything that everybody follows, like a Jesus, like a Buddha, like a Lao Tzu, like a Muhammad, like a this, what were they? They were called rebels. Why? Because they thought outside the box, man. They thought outside the box from that time. You get what I'm saying? Were they ridiculed? Were they this? Were they that? Were they killed? Yes, they were, because they thought outside the box. That's it. That's it. But now everybody is stuck in their box, that they're not being what that Messiah or whatever kind of represented as being a rebel, not by making conflict or making hassle, but having your own way. Stop being a duplicate, man. Stop being a duplicate. Go around the track, go to the race, and go look at all the girls. They all look the same. Go look at all the boys. They all look the same. Nobody has their own little look anymore, because everybody's following everybody. I go around town and I just watch everybody. I'm like, oh my God, look at human beings, just a bunch of followers, just trying to fit in with everybody else, and nobody wants to look like their own way. Not that you have to look weird or different. Just what puts a smile on your face? What puts that spark in your ass? You know what I'm saying? To actually look at this life and go, man, this thing's amazing. You know, because if you really think about it, look at what we're experiencing. It's the most complex, the most amazing experience you could ever experience. If you could tell me a better experience than this, then I'd believe you. But you're never gonna. So why don't you honor that? Why don't we respect that? You get what I'm saying? Instead of down that and poor me and this sucks and that person and this was wrong and this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're
not seeing the magic in it. You're not seeing the spark in this life. And maybe that's what I have done is created the spark in my life, because I took the comfort away. That's the problem with man nowadays, is they're too damn comfortable. You know, they buy a house, it's all done, built up, they get the key, they pick it up. Oh, it's a little bit cold, a little bit hot. They sit on the couch.
Yeah.
You know, the wife brings them some food. Maybe they go for a walk. Oh shit, the floor's dirty. They press the button. They got Julio to clean their pool. You know what I mean? It's too comfortable. And when you become comfortable, you become stale. And when you become comfortable, you become uncreative. Right?
Well,
and that's not a human being. We're supposed to be pushed. We're supposed to be pushed. We are a being. We are a human being that can handle so much pressure, so much, pain and agony. Just because I've been through it myself, is that people aren't understanding and honoring this being that we're in. It's the most complex mechanism in all of the universe that we know of, and we deny it every day. Right? So that's kind of how I look at my thing, and maybe why I have this outlook, because I look at life completely different than most. I don't look at the negatives of the stuff. The sun, the clouds, wow. It's all amazing, because I can't think of a better experience, because I've tried.
Yeah.
I've tried. You can read a book that says there's a heaven that is thing, but it's in the book. You can read another book that says you're gonna have 27 virgins. That's in a book. It's not in front of you're not in front of your eyes. That's called reality. Everything else is dreams, baby. Everything else is dreams, because there's nowhere to be. If my mind goes somewhere, there's nowhere, because you're always now here. Same word. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where everybody's always trying to go somewhere to find something, create something, but they're not realizing that it's now here. Just like even when I teach motocross, even today, going through a corner, the guy was like, man, I was focused on the exit of my corner, coming in, exit the corner to do this triple, but I kept messing up the entrance. I said, exactly, because you're too far ahead. You're in the future.
Yeah.
You're here, but you're always now here. So that's kind of the same thing in life. It's like motocross is life.
Yeah,
it really is.
I completely agree. The interesting thing too, so you want to talk about like people chasing happiness. So for you to be like, it's inherently flawed, literally, from that sentence right there. Like, trying to be happy by definition states that in the current moment you're unhappy. And that creates a real problem. That creates a real problem for happiness, because it becomes like this thing that you're constantly chasing. It becomes a state that you're trying to achieve, and then by even putting that label on it, it just completely demotes the experience that you're having right now.
Yep. Well, there's a couple main points that I focus on. One is try not to become anything. Because if you're trying to become something, you're always going to be in tension because you're not there yet.
Yeah. And
Right?
it's the same. That's the
I
same
want to become a
argument with
cyclist.
happiness.
I want to
though.
become this. Yeah, I want to become more beautiful. I want to become more skinny.
Yeah.
Well, you're always going to be in tension because you're not at that becoming. You know what I mean? And then you know, also learn how to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Because right now, this whole life is uncomfortable. So you better learn how to be comfortable in it. And it's not going to get any easier. I can tell you that. And I'm sure you guys are finding that out in Australia. Okay. So you better learn how to be comfortable, you know, and then, you know, and also don't ever, you know, kind of, you know, compare what's happening now to what you would want it to be. You understand? And that's what everybody, I wish it was this, or man, I wish the weather was this, or I wish it was a little bit colder. I wish it was that. It's because, again, you're always going to be felt less than because you're not getting what you're wanting. You're always going to be let down because everything you're coming into, you're comparing to what you would rather it be. You know what I mean? Instead of just accepting what it is. And when you can accept what it is, then you're going to be with it, and you're not, there's no tension in between because you're not in between what's happening and where you'd want to be. Does that make sense? You know?
Yeah. No,
and
100%.
you know, there's just a few things that we do that we're always kind of, you know, there's a word I'm looking for, but just like kind of comparing what's happening at this moment to what we would rather it be.
Yeah.
You know? I feel that we miss so many golden moments at that time. Just like I say, okay, hey, there's a lot of times I had to go to some functions with my ex-wife, and I'm just like, what in the world am I don't even want to be here. Don't even want to be here. So half of me is there. But maybe that opportunity that I was looking for the last 3 years was sitting in the corner. But I was so uninterested in being there that my mind was somewhere else that I never went and talked to that guy. But that guy was an opportunity that would have set me up for my life. Now life was like stupid. We had the opportunity you want to be there, but you weren't present enough. So now we have to go down the 91 to the 5 to the 405 down to the 91 in traffic. So we're this opportunity. I'm not going to come to you for another 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want to be somewhere, don't be somewhere. Don't ever show up halfway, because again, you might miss opportunities. You might miss golden moments. I feel, you know what I'm saying? And just come from having kids and doing these things and being that guy. I'm at this baseball game. What am I? Jesus, you know?
Yeah.
You know, but I miss golden moments, man. I miss golden moments because my mind was at a race and my mind was training. My mind was in the gym, but my son was playing t-ball. Golden moments, you know? Well,
you're not alone in that, man. I think that's an affliction that, you know what I mean? I don't think that, you're definitely just not alone in that. And there's so many people that would be the norm, not the exception for most of humanity.
Yeah. Well, especially for men, because men are, you know, extroverts. So we're always trying to achieve, trying to get next, trying to conquer, trying to, you know, that's kind of our DNA. That's our DNA. And when we use it right, we are very productive creatures. But when we use it wrong, we're very destructive creatures.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.